So how do you move an entire building? Stick with me. This is our journey. Welcome to the Betancourt's homestead. About 10 years ago, I built a seed shack out of like scraps and leftover lumbers and stuff that people brought. I filled it full of water bottles. There's a reason. And this is my seed shack, but it's also, we built a house up above, and this is down on the middle level, and I need it up above because seedlings don't do real well when you don't pay attention to them. Yes, I could build brand new, but have you seen the prices of lumber lately? I can't afford that. Who can afford that? I can't afford that. So the crazy blonde-haired girl here has decided that she is going to move this seed shack. And how am I going to move it? I am going to dismantle it piece by piece and move. I've already cleaned it out. Except for my insulation. Like, don't you love my insulation? Can you tell what kind of water I used to like to drink? I'm going to dismantle it and reassemble it. So, won't be today. It won't be today. We'll see how far I get today, but stick with me and we'll see. We'll see if I can actually reassemble this puppy. Oh my gosh. It's going to be so fun because I don't think I can. It's going to be like putting a car engine together. You know, the mechanics, they take it all apart and you always wonder, what happens if they forget a screw? Or how do I know everything that went? So we'll have to see how well I do and if I have any leftover parts. Good morning on the homestead. Project time. Still, I got the roof off. I'm getting on the walls, but I wanted to show you something. Not that I cleared this all like 6 months ago, right? But I wanted to show you my view. I mean, that's such a rough life. Pretty sure I've secured my summer keeping me out off the streets shindig. I have been washing windows, cleaning furniture, patio furniture, everything today, and I wanted to show you I got the building moved. I like literally got the building moved and I moved it. I moved the platform. I built a little outline and I built a patio. Look at this. So there used to be a bunch of potting benches lined up against this wall where I did all of our planting. And then this is where that building was. I took it. It's now a cute little patio. Put some tables and chairs or a little comfy sofa or lounge chairs. And the view is not too shabby, if I do say so myself. I want to show you. This is what I've made. A mess. All of this. This is what I have to reassemble. Oh my God. It's moments like this I wonder, what did I do? Oh my gosh. It's time to go on an adventure. This is actually as far as we can go. I'll be back with you in a moment. Kind of wondering if I'm looking forward to my husband seeing this pile or not. But let me show you what happened. I actually had to get the use of my father-in-law's truck, which is why I couldn't TikTok with you. But look what we got. A bunch of T-posts, which I totally can use in the garden for my raspberries. Some windows that I can totally incorporate in the seed shack that I'm building. Remember that seed shack? These are double pane windows. It is a score. They don't open, but that's okay. I can work around that. Yep, I scored today. Now I need to figure out how to start using it immediately so that it doesn't become trash, a pile of trash at my house. That is that's the key to the whole thing, right? If you pick something up, you immediately start incorporating it in. I have one project I have to finish and then I can start the seed shack. So I should probably go start that now. I love it when I get those phone calls. I'm trying to figure out if this is a big decision or a small decision. Because in my world, I handle all the small decisions and my husband handles all the big decisions. So is the placement of a seed shack a small decision or a big decision? My other requirement is I have to stay under 200 square feet. Per the county, I can build a 200 square foot structure without permits, but I have to stay under the 200 square foot. So, small decision and under 200 square feet, and I'm golden. I think I'm going with this small decision. It's a small decision. Today I pulled all of the nails and took out all the screws of the entire seed shack that I had. I even removed all the hurricane ties. Yeah, we have to have hurricane ties here because contrary to what the news media doesn't want anybody to believe, we actually have hurricane type winds here. I built this seed shack so sturdy that it withstood 55-mile-an-hour winds. Not even joking. So the goal is to do the same thing again. But that's the area it needs to go in. And I'm kind of limited on space. So I'm sitting here, trying to figure out the best place and the placement for it. You know what the crazy thing is I can see it in my brain. I literally can see the whole entire thing completed with plants and all in my brain. It drives people nuts. Mainly because they can't help me, because they can't see in my brain. And so they're trying to do it. And I'm like, that's not what it's supposed to look like. They're like, well, just make it look like this. No, that's not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like what's in my brain. Yeah, the struggle is real. So, small decision or big decision? I'm going with the small decision. It's all good, right? As long as it grows fruits and vegetables and it starts my seedlings, who cares what size it is? Okay, I kind of do. But you're going to want to see this. Everybody ooh and ah over lumber with no nails in it. All stacked up by size. Nice and neat. And it's all got to be reassembled right here. My bucket of nails. These are actually recyclable. My hurricane ties. These are a pain to get out. I have a few I have to bend back. Okay, you guys have all convinced me. It's a small decision. I knew it. I just needed some reinforcement, right? You're all behind me. It's a small decision. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm working on my seed shack, and I'm at the point where I need to square things up, right? Because if you're a quarter of an inch off at the very beginning, you'll be 2 inches off at the end. In the meantime, these are all the blackberry vines that I snaked out from underneath the gravel. And this is the small decision. He came out and inspected it. He laughed. So it's just me right now working, and I need to square it up, but the tape measure keeps slipping. So I'm going to take these little tiny picture hanger nails, hammer them in the corner. That way my tape measure will stick to them. Yay! Not bad. I'm literally 1/8 of an inch off square. How did I do that? Like, I don't even think I could have done that if I tried. So, square it up. It's cleanup time. The base is done. This is not a permanent structure. I'm thinking of it not as a permanent structure. A beautiful greenhouse would be a permanent structure. This is just a seed shack where I just am going to go in and hose things off, and I just want it to protect me from the rain and protect my seedlings. So first phase is done, which is just the base. I'll start building walls and stuff tomorrow. I look at everything in small sections because if I was to take this whole building and say, I'm going to do it this week, that would really be overwhelming for me. I get very overwhelmed. But I did the base today. Tomorrow, I'll do the back wall. Then I'll do another for the front wall. Then I'll do the windows or the sides. Just small bits. You don't have to chomp off the whole entire building. Just break it down and say, what do I need first? Needs a foundation. Need something to sit on. Second, you need 1 wall, 2 walls, 3 walls. It's all small. We can do this. We can do this. Only this time I'm going to build it small enough where I'm not going to have to wake my husband up to help me move a wall. Last time I had to wait for him to help me move a 16-foot wall. This time I'll divide the walls up into 2. So I'm going to work on the back part tomorrow. It's exciting! Even more exciting is I literally can see it finished. I'm going to be honest with you and come clean. My husband has said he just wants to sit on the couch, and he's going to push me out tomorrow because I stalled a lot today and I didn't want to do the seed shack. And he has promised that he is going to push me out tomorrow morning so that I can start. But because I want to be honest with you, and I want you guys to hold me accountable, I'm going to show you exactly how much I have gotten done last night before I stopped. So that's where I ended up last night. Tomorrow. Come on! So here I am, it's raining, and I'm kicking myself I didn't get more of the seat shack done, and that I didn't cover all the wood that I have out there up. I didn't think it would rain. It doesn't usually rain after the 5th of July. But here's something that puts everything into perspective. That bright light out there is a farmer trying to cut his hay in his field. He's been working all day. He must have known the rain was coming because he never stopped. Getting ready to raise the second wall, and my helper came out to help me, my sweet man. Bonus. Okay, it's quitting time. My man came and helped me with raising this wall and cutting all the OSB and raising that wall. So I just have one more wall to do, and then the roof. That wall back there is going to be my tool wall. It looks big, but it's really only 2 feet bigger, wider than the first one. And my farmer out there, he's got his marshmallow bags, what he did yesterday before the rain started. But everything after the rain, he's been hauling it away in big trucks. This is literally one of those moments as a homesteader in the middle of nowhere that you have to stop and go, I'm at a crossroads. I'm kind of out of 2x4s. I'm like scrounging and trying to find as many as I can. I put the cap pieces on. I put an overhang for the roof so that I can at least open the door and not get rained on. And I got the beginnings of the wall made, but I got to go inside and calculate how many 2x4s I need to go and pray that they're not really expensive at our local hardware store, because they're usually twice the price. So then I have to ask myself, do I want to finish this project? Because I can't go any further, because I got to get this wall up before I can start racking the roof. Do I want to finish this and get some 2x4s? Or do I want to just let it wait for what I have going on for the rest of this, at the end of this week, and then pick them up the next trip in? That is the predicament. That's always my predicament. That is always your predicament when you're living so far out in the middle of nowhere. For now, I'm going to go close up the chickens, tuck them into bed, sing them a bedtime story, and have dessert at the raspberry bush. Anybody else find themselves cleaning when they have to think and they can't solve the problem? You want to see what I'm done? Because I'm getting ready to go in and take a break. I think you should see what I've done. This morning I woke up and I was like very sad. I needed 4, possibly 5 2x4s. And then I came out here and I just started thinking as I'm laying everything out. I'm like, I'm going to lay it all out. I'm going to lay it all out. And I'm going to see. And I did. And I was able, this is the section. I was able to jerry rig. I doubled up and I tripled the I doubled the thickness, and it's not perfect, but it's done. It's like up. And that is the one section. These 2 back walls are like literally just not major walls. Like I could take it down and redo it if I needed to. So if it even remotely looks like it's going to need like bowing or anything, and just take it down. It's not like the roof is going to be sitting on it. It's not going to be supporting the roof structure. It's just going to have a door, and the door is going to go on the other side. So I did it, you guys. What's next? Roof. Roofing is next. And I probably have enough to keep me busy in the roofing for a couple days. It is time for a coffee break. You want to see the lumber I have? That's the OSB I have left over. And that little pile right over there, So far, that's my discard, don't need it pile. It's time to raise the roof. Whoop, whoop, whoop. No, not that kind of roof. Okay, we'll do it this way, right? So while you guys were all scrolling and watching everybody else, I was busy here putting the timbers on, the rafters. Yep, I got all of them that I have done. I am missing, I need 3 more 2x4x10s. No, I'm not going to jerry-rig these together. I'm not jerry-rigging the roof together. What I'm going to be doing right now while I'm waiting, because I have to go into town for this, and I'm not going to be going in for the next few days. What I'm going to do now, stay tuned. I get to go through every single panel, sort it by size, and scrub it all down. Oh, joy. 6 hours of scrubbing panels and washing them and stacking them and putting them along the wall to dry, and realizing your whole entire life today is just washing panels, and it literally never is gonna end. I forgot one. What do you say we put this behind the building and we both don't talk about it? Like, you and I, we're not going to mention this guy, right? You got my back on this one. It's quitting time before the bear comes and gets me. We do have a bear. He likes to go back there. But this is what I've got. I need 3 more 2x4x10s. I put the blocking in here just now, and I put the blocking in up there. I've cut all of the blocking. I can barely see right now. And I'm cleaning up. I clean up every night, just because I don't believe in leaving tools out. I lock them all up. So there you go. There you go. That just feels so satisfying. I wish I would have gotten farther, but I did spend about 6 to 7 hours washing all of these panels, front and back. And that was kind of tedious. You guys have a great night. Bye. I have locked myself in the seat shack and I'm not allowed to come out. Let me explain what's going on. Part of being a homesteader and being the one that does the work brings on a certain excitement when you start a new project. Yeah, it also brings on boredom halfway through the project, but you kick on through because you know you're still working. It's like good. And then comes this mundane, monotonous, same boards over and over and over again, same cutting, same everything, and you're just like, dear Lord, I just want to sit on the couch and pop bonbons and watch a movie. At this moment in my life, I would watch a Western. That's how desperate I am for rest and change. So this is what I've done. I've had my breakfast. I have a full belly. I've gone to the restroom. I've had my coffee. I've gotten all my tools out, and I'm no longer allowed to leave this area until I have made some sort of progress, because that is the only way this ADHD brain of mine will get something done when she is in the mode of, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do it. Like, my brain is on 15 million other things, including a walk at the beach or a walk at my favorite hike. This is torture at this point in time. Moral of the story is, we have to find our own motivation out here. And sometimes it just is not easy. But what is keeping me going on this project is every time I look out the kitchen window, seeing the big mess that is out there, because I don't have any space for it. And going into my shop and seeing a huge mess in my shop and having to walk around and step over things because it all needs to go in here. And the sooner I get this done, the sooner we get to move on to other projects. So sometimes it's not always easy and fun, but I just have to get the inside done, and then I can work on the outside next. And if you're seeing this, it's during a break time, because I'm not allowed to leave to go sit on my chair to go edit this. So you're just going to have to wait to realize that I'm struggling. Yes, the struggle is real. I literally planned that. No, I didn't. There is some happiness right here, right there. Not a lot, though. There is some happiness. Why not a lot? Because while it may look like I have done a lot, I really haven't. I still have all of these to do. but it'll happen another day. We are at my favorite store, and I've never put 2x4x10s or anything 10 foot long in the Santa Fe before, so let's see if it works. Okay. You got about 5 inches. Stop. About that much. Okay, we'll make it work.
That'll work.
That'll work? We'll find something to rest in here so that we don't have to put pressure on the dash. So this is why you should always have a get home bag in your car, because in my get home bag are tennis shoes. And let me show you what I'm going to do with my old tennis shoes that I would have used if I was in high heels and I had to walk home from somewhere long, far away. There, I wedged my tennis shoes in underneath. Now we just can't make any sudden stops or the wood will fly straight out the front windshield. What do you think of this load?
Well, honey, I think this is much more stable than a lot of the loads we've done together. I'm good with this.
I've never used tennis shoes though to secure a load before.
No, but it gives it a nice cushion shock absorber.
It does have a cushiony shock absorber. There we go. Good morning. It is early morning and we have decided to come out, and guess what we're working on? My husband and I watched a show yesterday, kind of interesting, on what signs of the times, and he looks at me and I looked at him and I said, my C-check isn't even near being done. I literally am at the point where I need help installing the windows and stuff. And he's like, okay, tomorrow's a work day. I love how he just jumps in and helps me. Like I didn't even have to ask. But family reunion is over. Tallo's put on hold, and this is what we're working on today. It is the end of the day, and I thought I would share what it looks like and what we've got done, so hang on. We've got all of the roof rafters in. I just need to put the crossbars, spacers in, and I will install the plastics tomorrow, most likely tomorrow. I made a mention to my husband that we had leftover OSB, and I would love to have the inside covered so that it wasn't just studs, and he literally did the entire building. Score for me. We had not even a quarter of a sheet of OSB left. He maneuvered it perfectly. We got one window in. This is not a perfect window by any means, and it was installed by me. We had a very pleasant surprise when we went down to underneath the studio, and we looked and saw that we had a plethora of hardy plank sitting down there, and we started installing. We also went behind every single building, and I pulled out all the scraps that I have been squirreling away. And then he found another stack that I had squirreled away underneath the studio, so score for me. And that's it. We're pretty much done for right now because we burned up the blade for the hardy plank. It was old. It was very, very old. And when we started seeing sparks, I'm like, he's like, is that normal? And he goes, oh no. And then he looked at the blade. He goes, yeah, old blade. So he's going to go in and get a new blade for us, and then we'll start again. But since going in is an hour and a half away, we're pretty much on hold. I will do the roof tomorrow, and we'll see how far we get in the coming week. Life on a homestead is never on my time. Never. But it's on perfect time. Back at it today. I'm going to do the roof today, but the building inspector has come to join us. Yep, that's Mr. Mole. Let's get working. Slightly excited with what I've got done so far. I thought I'd give you an update before I started on the wall of windows. So, this is what we've got. Roof is 100% installed. It is going to leak because I reused the panels. We're just going to have to go with that. I've got a lot of duct caulking, so I'll just patch the holes. But this was the window that I absolutely hated because it looked really gross and I would not show you what it looked like. So I took it apart, I took it out, and then I've chiseled the wooden parts away so that it would fit properly. So there you go. It's a properly fitting window. Now I am going to start working on these windows here. Wish me luck. Feeling mighty accomplished. Like, seriously. Now, my issue on the inside is figuring out how to trim the puppies so that they stay in and they don't fall out, because technically they could fall out. Yeah, I might want to get that done tonight. Let's think about it. I think I have found the solution. So my father-in-law was building something for me, and he had all of this leftover stuff. And I told him, he's like, he knows I like scraps. And so he brings me over these scraps. And I think he brings them over because he wants me to like not want them. Or he wants to see the look on my face. Oh, joke's on him. I'm making molding out of them. There you go. At this point, I think I have even exhausted the building inspector. The sun rose as I started, and the sun has set as I am finishing. But I got the windows in. Not only did I get the windows in, but I got them molded. It's not pretty molding. We're not doing pretty. This is a seed shack, which is also like a greenhouse and a tool shed. So I have a big stack of leftover lumber in my shop, and I'm just pulling from it, and whatever fits. So there you go. That's it. I am closing up for the day. Tomorrow I will probably organize the tool wall, one of the tool walls. Oh, you need to see my mascot. There you go. My mascot. She's been sitting there since she's sitting on eggs. She's been sitting there watching me all day. Sometimes your morning just has to start like this. When you lifted windows all night, you're gonna need these the next morning. Then there's my cup. You gotta see my cup. Here's to saving the world again today. I've got to show you what I've done so far this morning. Last night I left you with the seed shack almost empty with just a few tools up against a wall. And this morning we have this. Oh, first off, I have been moving all that stuff there, like literally. Placement isn't exactly where I want it, but this wall is almost done. I will fill in the shelves. So I have one huge row of tables that I can lay all my seedlings on, my seed starts. I've been putting tools up on the wall. I need to find a place for this, and this. So this wall is not done, but this wall is. Isn't that such a beautiful view? So my husband asked me why I made this window cut out here, and I told him simple. I stood in the seed shack, and safety is very important to me, and I like to know what's going on around me. And I stood here, and when I looked out and I was working, there was something missing. If I filled in that structure right there, if I filled in this hole, I would not be able to see the sliding glass door, and I wouldn't be able to see anybody coming up from around the house. This way I can see people coming up the stairs that are right here, people coming up out the sliding glass door, around the side, and everywhere. So that's why I put the cutout. There'll be a little plexiglass window there. Now, time to get all that other stuff somehow organized in here. It's the end of the day, and let's just say I'm pretty impressed with what I've accomplished. Come on in. So I spent most of the day in the seed shack. I don't think I need any more little shovels or any more little rakes. Yeah, not at all. I have my favorite tools, the ones I use all the time right here and up there. I have all of my seed trays right there, my watering cans. I have pickers and shovels and rakes and everything all lined up. They all have their place. Everything has a home. Knee pads because I'm old. All my sprayers, everything like that. Oh, my sticks for my rocket stove. And this wall is done. I have leftover bags of dirt that are there. I have fertilizer and fish emulsion stuff in there. Garbage can. My tree watering gator bags. Those are really awesome when you plant a new tree. All of my stuff and my seed starting tray, and there. I have organized all of my pots by size and by color. Whew. I have the most amazing husband because I placed an order with Lowe's knowing that I wasn't going to be able to be there for a while, not knowing when I was going to go pick it up, and my husband stopped over and picked up my blade that I had ordered. So for the blade for my circular saw, However, I was totally not expecting the next thing he handed me. Are you ready? Because it blew me away. You see, my husband knows that I absolutely love my little compound miter saw over here by DeWalt. He knows I love it, like literally. That he actually went into the store and picked up the blade for my compound miter saw to do fiber cement. There's a bird in my shop. Just ignore it. I'm not concerned because he'll find his way out. In the meantime, we're going to change this. I've never changed one before, so you know what? There's a first time for everything, and there is a part of me that just wants my husband to change it, but then it's kind of like the gun scenario. If you have a gun and you shoot the gun, you need to clean the gun because it's your gun. So it's my tool. I need to learn how to change the blade. So on with my instructions, and let's get going. Full disclosure, he totally would change it for me if I asked him. Right there. This is what I'm going to be following. It's not like rocket science. I can do this. Like, see, I'm talking myself up. I am like literally giving myself a pep talk. You can do this. You definitely, I don't want to do it, but you definitely can do this. It's sharp. At this point in time, I'd rather be trying to catch the bird. Poor thing. Train, train, train. Back on the track. Screw until the bracket can be raised. And raise the lower guard as far as possible. What's the lower guard? What is the lower guard? This is why knowing what things are called is so important. Oh, you're the lower guard. Good news, I got it all off. I've got the new one on. I'm assuming I put it back the same way I took it off. But oh, bad news, I tweaked my wrist. Man, that thing was tight. Would have helped to actually have realized I needed to do it the opposite direction. Like lefty-loosey, righty-tighty did not apply here. So I literally was tightening it. The moment of truth. If it doesn't work and something happens to me, would you please tell my husband I absolutely love him and he was the joy of my life. Sorry, Kristen. Whew. I need a cup of coffee after that. I really need a cup of coffee after that. Whew. Okay, you guys. It's normal to come in after changing a saw blade and check on your bread, right? Good morning, everybody. I am out working on the seed shack, aka greenhouse, aka tool shed. And I just finished, well, late last night, I finished all the trim. I'm jerry-rigging it all together from leftover stuff. And today, I woke up really early, and let me show you what I did. I just finished putting all of the starter strip for the hardy plank. But this is what I thought was so funny. I put the last nail in, it goes in perfectly, and I come out from the corner, because I'm like literally in this little tiny corner. I come out from the corner and this is what I see. What's missing here? I had to go back and look. Did the last nail go in? Like, really, did the last nail actually go in? It went in perfect like butter. Perfect. Oh well, I'm gonna go in. It's time for breakfast. Or lunch, whatever you want to call it. So I'm getting ready to put the last strip of hardy plank on this side, and I'm just so excited because I have figured out how to snap the boards lengthwise, right? So you score it. Let me show you. So first I'm going to cut it against here, then I'm going to mark it, put a straight line on it, and I'm going to run this over frontwards and backwards, boom, boom, 6 times each. Then you're going to flip it, measure again, and do the same thing. Then you wedge it between 2 boards, put this board over the top, stand, step on it, snap it off, and voila, you got your board. So much easier than trying to take your circular saw and get a straight cut, and actually probably faster. And just like that, that wall is done. Like, there you go. I just have to put the window and the door in, and there you go. It's time for a break. Who am I kidding? I couldn't leave. I had to fix this spot. I just added an extra piece of trim. You guys, I can't. I have it. Might as well use it. I'm sitting here just staring at the seed shack. Let me show you. Like, literally, so far, all of the hardy plank that is on there, I've just been using scrap hardy plank that I dug out of trash piles when they built this house. Like, literally. Never underestimate what you can use scraps for. Never. It's gonna look cool. Oh, and I still have a lot of scraps left over. I got a smile on my face. Why do I have a smile on my face? Oh, let me tell you why. Better yet, let me show you why. Look at that. Look at that. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, look at that. Look at that, people. Oh, you just got sideswiped by a foxglove. Lupin just hit you. And, oh my goodness. And what's next? What's next? Caulking. Caulking is next. Oh, joy. Oh, and look who helps me for the day.
It's not all.
That's not all?
No, I helped you for the day.
You helped me for
All
the day.
weekend.
All
All
weekend.
baby.
All weekend. All weekend.
Anything you need.
Ah. It's time to start my day and get back out there. Today I am washing the seed shack because the hardy plank I put up was underneath a, it's dirty. So I grabbed my t-shirt towels. You know, you guys ever take your t-shirts and make them into towels? I serge the ends, make little pockets and hold handholds and stuff. I grabbed all my t-shirt towels and we're going to scrub it. And then we're going to caulk it. Yep, make it watertight, as watertight as you can for the Pacific Northwest. Technically, since this building is not watertight because it's not caulked yet, I'm actually only going to be brushing off the dirt and then washing the spots that are really dirty. Like here, really dirty, really dirty. I'll just run a damp washcloth off over it and we'll clean it. We'll see what it looks like. Here's a before. Oh, it's so pretty. It's all washed. Gently washed so that I can caulk it this afternoon. Right now I'm going to go in and pound in some nails that are sticking out a little bit too much for my comfort before I start the caulking this afternoon. It's coming along really cool, isn't it? All out of scraps, people. All out of scraps. At this moment, I have $338, and the only reason I have $338 is because my husband bought a blade that was $100. $100 worth of blades. That's the only reason. I'm adding that in because I'm being honest, and I'll talk about how I cost things, price things out in another TikTok. But there you go. I don't know who has more caulking, my fingers or the shed. The seed shack has been caulked. I don't think I have missed anything. I'll go back through just to check. There you go, people. And now I need paint. I need paint, but I'm not sure when I'm gonna get it. So I'm gonna concentrate now on the barn, get that ready and cleaned out so that we can start repairing that. You know what's the funny thing? I keep telling my husband, I'm gonna get this all done, and the door I was gonna reuse because, you know, I'm just rebuilding. I took the seed shack apart from down below, bringing it up here, and I'm just adding things that have been collecting. But this is the door to the seed shack. I mean, it fits. I built it to fit, but that's butt ugly. So now it's like you give a mouse a cookie, chances are he's going to ask for a glass of milk, and then he's going to need a napkin, and now I'm standing here looking at it going, I'm going to have to build a new door, aren't I? I just got back from that sweet lady's house that's been giving us all of the items that she doesn't want because she's moving. And I gotta go get a cart, and I'm gonna show you what I got. Today was planter day and container day. Scored some really cool old rope too. There you go. Most of it are clay pots, plastic pots that I can paint. Oh, I'm gonna have to hold this. You know, there's that saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure, but it only becomes your treasure if you start putting it to use. And I love that people will give me things and they want to see pictures. So I have to take a picture of the seed shack for her because I told her I put her windows to use, and she was all excited. I love that excitement. Like, oh, I want to see pictures. And I'm like, I'm going to send them to you, honey. I'm going to send them to you. Yep. Hustling before the rainy season comes. There you go. Funny, this cart was actually given to me several years ago. Oh, it's been great use. I'm thinking the twine can go in my long and stringy box. I think we talked about that one. That looks like a perfect place for that big planter. I imagine it with like really something tall. Oh, and she even gave me lattice that I can use for it last time. The ideas are flowing. Now, this is how I have it. This is what she gave me. Doesn't this look so much better? Well, looky there. It's only too many if it's like, what did somebody say? If you have a collection of more than 3 things, it's like too much, but if you arrange them pretty, then it's perfect. Like, look at that. She had I have one of these too, but I put it somewhere. But I'm like, nah, I'm gonna grab it and hang it. I'm gonna send her a picture of that. That's cool. I need to figure out a way to make windows for the barn, for the seed shack. Like, I have these windows in here, but the back I left off because I was going to make windows. And this is one of those moments where I gotta figure out what I'm doing. So let's kick it down the road, let's kick it down the road. I'll take care of that when it comes to it. Well, it's coming too. It's coming too. I'm thinking a hinge system, and I think I have the wood to do. I just need to cut it down, and I think I'm going to use these. I still don't know what I'm going to do with the door. I should put the door on just to see if I like it. I know I'm not going to like it. I just want to say this is when the seed shack turns countrified. So I've been doing the whole thing with I only have $238 into it, actually $338 if you include the saw blade that I used partially, but I'll use it for other things. I've been just reusing material. I tore down the seat shack that was down below, which I made out of pallet wood and everything, and I brought it up here and I rebuilt the whole thing. And I put hardy plank from our leftover from the house build. That is that's the windows. And I think each one is going to be different because I'm just scavenging for parts right now. Like, literally. I need a hinge mama or a hinge daddy. I need a hinge daddy. Yeah, somebody that can like kick down some hinges. Just kidding, but serious. Yeah, it kind of looks hokey, but it works. Look at this. Because, you know, you want ventilation. So there you go. What could be better? It works. These things are so rusty. I actually am really loving this thing. To paint the seed shack, at least one wall, because it's such a huge project and it needs so much done to it. I'm just concentrating on one wall at a time. So I'm going to finish one wall today. And first we have to do my trick to my paint sticks. These are my paint sticks. So whenever I get a new can of paint, I label it with what it is, drill a hole in it, put Sherwin-Williams for Sherwin-Williams, and I keep one stick per color. I do that with my stains and with my clear coats, my protective coatings. Why? Don't ask. This is the OCD triple type A in me, because I like being able to pull a stick and see what the sheen is on it. And I also take my stain sticks and lay them down and get an idea of which one I want. Let's get going. First, we got to drill a hole. Then we stir the paint and label it. Okay, we are ready to go. I know you want to see the paint color too, right? Let's get her open. I should probably mention that my husband is the one that picked out this paint color from a sheet of colors that I was looking at. And he said he really liked this one. I'm not sure how I'm going to like it on the walls, but you know what? I was not against it, so let's just go with it. Those that have watched me for a while now know that paint is a small decision, and I'm usually in charge of the small decisions. My husband liked the color. I love my husband. Let's go with it. It is a very, very light gray with a tint of blue to it. Yep, there you go. I'm gonna stir this and start painting, and then I'll show you later on what it's like. You'll foil line your sheets, right? Way less cleanup. Welcome to inside the seed shack, because I'm no longer going to show you the outside of the seed shack until the seed shack is done. What are we working on today? We're working on filling in that space right up there with windows. We need some sort of enclosure, maybe one that I can remove in the summer and put up in the winter would be ideal. And then we also need to build windows here. Now here's the deal. I'm running out of time in the winter till the winter comes, till the rainy season. So what I'm going to do here is just going to be temporary. I'm just going to screw in some plastic panels, the same ones as the roof, because I don't have time to actually build the frames, paint, and do it properly. So we make do till next year, or until a dry season part comes. But the outside is really cute. We're bringing out all the tools today. My favorite old-fashioned tool, the first one that I actually fell in love with, the reason that I am the woodworker that I am, the jigsaw. It's just fun. Let's get it together and start cutting. I'm already working on the frame. I can't show you. You're just going to have to trust me, right? Building trust here. So here's the angle that I need to cut for the frame that I am building. There you go. This is a 6-degree angle. So my miter saw cut that, and now I can start putting it together. This is where it's like putting a puzzle together. It's all fun and one of my favorite tools. Who am I kidding? All my tools are my favorite. Okay, frame is done. Let's go see if it fits the back, because if it fits the back, all I have to do is copy it. Oh, but this is where you can't see, so we'll leave you here. Remember the seed shack that I've been building? Like, taking all of my time? Yeah, you want to see it? You want to see it? Let me show it to you. This is the seed shack. So the planter that's on the left of the door, totally free, 100%. The seeds were saved from the garden, nasturtiums. The garden sign I bought years ago in hopes that I would have a greenhouse and hang it on there, and here it is. The window to the left, free. The window to the right, I made. The door is reused from the seed shack that I tore down. The hardy plank and the siding was all left over from our house build. The windows in here, left over, given to us by a sweet lady. Hardy plank again, left over. All the wood structures is either left over from the house build or reused from tearing down the old seed shack. And you can see inside all the tools are set up. Windows along the back. I had to jerry rig a window for the top to close it off. So there you go on that. Off to the side. And a wall of windows right there. Is it exactly how I wanted it? No. Is it going to be good enough for the winter? Yes. At some point in time, I want to take these windows out and I want to make plastic removable windows. So when the summer comes next year, I can remove them and I can totally ventilate the system. So far, the only things that I have to ventilate is this window, the door, and the window on the side that opens. Other than that, people, this is the seed shack, and it is done. I must tell you, I love it. I think it's growing on me. There you go. Yep, garden's coming along pretty well. Not bad for being a driveway 6 months ago. Not bad. But what I really want you to see is what I have left over from the old seed shack that I tore apart, hauled up here to rebuild. This is what we have left over. Little pile of lumber. That's it. That's all we have left over from the original build. And I probably have about $500 in the seed shack there. And the $500, most of it is paint and a couple boards for the roof, and that's about it. Oh, a lot of caulking. There you go. I have a predicament. We got the seed shack all painted, but something just looks old and rutted and not pretty. I'm gonna have to paint the feed shack. Darn. It's always something. It's that whole, if you give a mouse a cookie, chances are they're gonna don't eat the daisies. Gotta go. Take two. It's that whole thing, if you give a mouse a cookie, chances are he's gonna ask for a glass of milk. Only my version, Tabby's version, comes from, if you give a coat of paint on a building, chances are you're gonna want all the buildings to match. I am changing the whole facelift of the land by changing the paint color. Because now when I look out, I'll see a fresh coat of paint, which is a new beginning, right? New beginning. Which is why I had him buy 5 gallons of this paint. Which, by the way, I'm not really thrilled with. It, like, feels too foo-foo-y. I don't know. It's time to fix something. What are we gonna fix? It has to do with the seed shack. And this is what it is. Mountain plate and this. First, I'm gonna have to use the phone. But let's take it apart. Oh, it's got a special battery. Why do they do this to me? Pull it out. Cats. Got it. Still looks good, but I'm pretty sure it's dead. We totally need to clean it. This thing's kicking my butt, so a lot of times I'm in the Pacific Northwest, you have to clean these little contacts. I use either rubbing alcohol or vinegar, and I just take a a Q-tip, and run it in and rub it. Sometimes I have to take sandpaper to get the little corrosion off and sand it off, but either way, we're working on it. Pop the battery in, and I got flashing. Gotta go. And it's fixed. And it's actually all set up. So what is it? It's a sensor for the seed shack. It literally is set to notify me through the Assistant app whenever the seed shack gets 30 degrees or below, or 75 degrees or higher. So when I'm inside the house and I don't realize the sun has come out and heated up the seed shack, I can go, it will notify me via a text message, and then I can go out and open things up before they all die. Let's go hang it up. Why so high-tech, you might be asking? Because I have ADHD and I forget a lot of things, and I don't want to kill my seedlings because we depend on that for food. I also was raised by my father to build computers from the time I was 9. So I tend to use technology when I can, just to make life easier. But here's a really weird twist. I also live a very old-fashioned life. And I've incorporated technology into that only to help me, but I don't depend on it. It is actually a water leak sensor. Which is pretty cool, because if you wanted to, you could put it on the floor and it would tell you when water was leaking in your greenhouse. I hung mine up, and it also has a feature in it, which is the feature that I use, that will notify you. You can go into your hub, I use SmartThings, and tell it what you want it to do. Like, I tell it, I want you to notify me when you're 80 degrees through text message. And I want you to tell me when it's, 40 degrees through text message. So it will literally tell me. I get a text message every day when my seed shack goes up to 80, and I just go out there and open up the doors. I do have an automated window thing that's going to open and vent it, that will help me, but I have to build the frame for that window. But this one is awesome because, just like you, when I have my seedlings in the winter and I need to know if I need to go out and put a little heater out there or turn the heat mats on for them, it will tell me when it gets too cold. It's amazing. Okay, so I had a little bit of extra time today, and look what I did. I made a sign for our seed shack. Isn't that so cute? I'm getting ready for my day, and last night I was putting all these pots in the greenhouse, and I'm thinking it would be really nice if I had a shelf. And this morning I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I probably have enough leftover wood that I could make shelves in this specific wall. we're gonna make shelves. I'm already started. I went through and I gathered a whole bunch of pressure treated lumber because it will get wet. So these are gonna be my braces, and we're gonna put the shelf together. Yeah, these came from that sweet lady too. And this came from that sweet lady. Like, it was a shelf of some kind for something. And I looked over here. This was a lot taller right here. So I took it all down and stored the pots that were all the way up somewhere else. And I'm going to put a shelf right along here. It fits perfectly. It's almost like it was made for this space. So first thing is to screw 3 screws so that it's stable into the stud and to each one, and then I'll lay the board across. As I would tell my husband, time to get screwing, babe. Okay, I did it. Let's look. There's a shelf right there. I got all the plants on it. And then you come over here, and I built a smaller shelf right up here. It was all free. I used the pressure treated 2x4s from the sweet lady, and then I used the old shelving from the seed shack that when it was down below. So, and I even reused screws. So yeah. Now I think I might tackle these pressure treated 2x2s. I don't know. What do you guys all think?